But that brings me to this next topic is, of course, WrestleMania. It's the one event that even the most casual fans watch. It's like not watching the World Cup. It's like, no, you're going to watch, because why the fuck would you not watch?
Yeah.
There is, of course, the huge rumor that I genuinely hope happens, but very, very unlikely going to happen, that The Rock versus Roman Reigns will main event WrestleMania. If that happens, I'm going to start watching SmackDown again, because I want to see that build-up. Rumor is there's going to be some sort of beginning towards that this Sunday, and the fact that Roman Reigns keeps talking about family, and he'll mention everybody else but The Rock, it just keeps making me think there's got to be something to it. So the question I have is, which was way longer than I thought I was going to take to ask, what have you heard about the rumors of The Rock versus Roman Reigns and other stuff for WrestleMania 37?
Obviously, I think you can see that is the priority for them in order to do that. The backup plan for that would be to switch McIntyre over to SmackDown to do Roman and McIntyre on the show. Initially, the backup plan was Big E. It's still in their thoughts, but I just don't think there's any way you get that character hot enough to win the title at WrestleMania. But I think with The Rock, I don't see it happening at WrestleMania with limited fans. I don't see it happening until WrestleMania 38, because I think that for The Rock to do it, it would need to have a clearer schedule, and it would need to be the most beneficial to him as it possibly can do. Now, he doesn't need wrestling, and it will never be as beneficial to him as it will be to the WWE. But if there is any time that I think that he would do it, it would be WrestleMania 38, because there we have the launch of the XFL. The Rock, I would assume, as a business person, would have cleared his schedule for the launch of the XFL in 2022, which I believe will be around about May time. And doing a massive show like WrestleMania, where you can go on and talk about the XFL right under the nose of the guy who just sold the XFL and failed at it twice, that will be a big thing that you can do. I mean, you could even integrate that into the storyline. And I think, so for me, doing it in front of fans and doing it at SoFi Stadium in California, which I assume is going to be moved back a year. I think that would be the location, WrestleMania Hollywood, WrestleMania 38, in front of fans on the same year as the XFL. Everything for that makes a lot more sense to me. As for what you do with Roman, can you keep this character hot for a year? You can do. You can drop the title. You can win it back. You can start saying the same shit before WrestleMania 38. You don't need to pay everything off for a year. There are ready-made storylines at the moment that Roman Reigns can go to. He can face Big E, which would not be very good. He can face Drew McIntyre. McIntyre can win the Royal Rumble again and switch brands and challenge, and decide to challenge Roman. You can do Brock Lesnar coming back and winning the Royal Rumble, and Paul Heyman telling him that you need to go to Raw. We can conquer the company. I'll have you on Raw and Roman on SmackDown, and we will own both brands. And Brock doesn't choose Raw. He decides to F5 Paul Heyman and go for Roman or whatever. So, I mean, there's so many storylines you can do without blowing your load with The Rock yet. But I think they are a blow your load company because they do rush things. And I think they would like to get The Rock in for this one. But we're already talking about WrestleMania being pushed back to the end of April to move outside of the Joe Biden 100-day COVID plan, where he plans to have a mask mandate and shut down and really clean up this virus whilst vaccinating the most vulnerable. Look, COVID's bullshit. None of this needed to happen. We didn't need to shut down for anything. We've dealt with all kinds of viruses before, like from terms of like bad flus, Ebola, mad cow disease, all kinds of shit. And we never closed down for anything. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not going to come on here and start talking about linking it to child trafficking and all kinds of bullshit. So I don't believe in any of it. The only thing I believe is that some fucker is getting rich off this. And that's my most realistic conspiracy, that someone created this in order to get rich. And now we do have idiots who are sitting there begging for a vaccine just to normalize society. And that vaccine will come and countries will pay a shitload of money for it. And the pharmaceutical company, Pfizer, who is 10% owned by Bill Gates, and Bill Gates is the main contributor to the World Health Organization, who deem this a pandemic. You cannot overlook all of these factors, which are facts, not conspiracies, and think that there's nothing fishy going on here. But the 1%, the pharmaceutical companies and everything are going to win. We are going to be all getting jabbed with this shit, or at least the most vulnerable, or at least those that haven't got the common sense to avoid it. So looking at the amount of people in society that are dumb, I'd say 90%, they're all going to be like lining up to get themselves injected with this shit, whatever's in it. So if they can get 90%, the pharmaceutical companies will be happy. The world will move on. Joe Biden, within his first 6 months of his presidency, will be like, oh my God, 200,000 people died under that moron, Donald Trump. He was terrible for the country, but all of a sudden Joe Biden's come in, and in 100 days, he's lowered infections. He's lowered death. He's found a vaccine. The death rate has gone way, way down. What an unbelievable job that he's done. And now USA, whoop, whoop, hip, hip, hooray, can carry on being the best country in the world. And WrestleMania will go ahead in the end of April or early May. But I don't think that it will be with a 100% fans with The Rock. I just can't see it. Although I think the storyline is, you're right, heading in that direction.